go back to our class on Sod, and I've got just settled for a few minutes, so I tried to get some things done. So we're on page Kaf Tes, and we're in beginning number Yud Gimel. Now I think that I decided that I was going to read across the top and then read the light print, that is the Rav himself, to read the Rav, and then the light print go to the Tiv, who's going to repeat a lot of it and try to make it easier for us to understand. Number Yud Gimel on Kaf Tes is when we talked about the ears and the nose, or there were only two different kinds of light there. There was an inner light and there's an outer light which was stronger. But here, when we come to the mouth, the kaflo habechinos, then the bechinos become doubled. And then there became two, which are actually four. How does that work? Because now not only do you have lights, but you also have a concept of kalim, because as you mentioned previously, there's a batisha that they strike each other. He says, oros nikfalo besod pinimi makiv, and then the lights they double because they have, so it goes like this, the lights they double, as we know, that you have a pinimi and a makiv. But the kalim have another set of words. They have an interior and an outside. They're like jugs or something like some kind of kalim. So these, it's not ala ve'ela. These four different aspects are a revelation of the four alafim that we had talked about previously in Shar Tanta in Perik Beis. Shahoy b'choitim, that we saw that in the nose. Ki ha'or avor v'nimshach derek b'nimios ha'adam hazeh, because the light goes and it passes through the interior of this man. V'yotze derech ha'peh shel ha'adam, and they come out of this Adam Kadmon, they come out of his mouth. So in other words, they're interior to it, and they come out, and when they come out, then we start to see them. Or at least we could picture them. The Rab says we could picture them. Let's go to number Yud Gimel on page Kaf Tes in the Matok Midrash. So he says, Issa B'tikun Zayin, B'tikun Zayin, no, said it wrong. Issa B'tikuni Zohar, in the Tikuni Zohar. So he says it's the beginning, it's the Hakdama Achrona, the last Hakdama, Yud Zayin Omid Beis, B'maimer Pesach Eliyahu. So we know that there's an important prayer that Sfardim say it every day, in Pesach Eliyahu, Shechapehu Bechinas Malchus, that there we see that the Peh, the number, the Peh, which we said before is Sag plus 22 letters, is the concept of Bechinas Malchus, Ba'im moinim as kol sefiras etzel rosh. That is, if you're just looking at the head, and you count up the head as seven, as whatever spheres they are, the bottom sphere is going to be malchus, and that's going to be the mouth. The fishuhum makabel as kol shefach spheres patocha, because what happens in the mouth is that everything congeals there. It all comes together there. But the mouth, which is the malchus itself, Lislay migrama klum. Migrama klum. It has nothing of its own. So in other words, it's a pool, but it itself doesn't make the water or whatever is flowing. Pirush she'ein lo or ma'atzma doesn't have its own essential light. It has the light that it receives from others. So therefore we find that the lights that are coming out of the mouth of Ak, they're not the lights of the mouth itself, because we know that there's lights that come from that we recognize them at the space of the ear and the space of the nose, and the two, one is up above the other, pooling into the mouth. So there we see that there are a high quality of light which is relevant to what's going to come out of the ears because of its high place, and also of course of the nose. But even so, that quality of light is going to wind up coming out of the mouth. So also the same thing is true. Let me stick with his translation, with the lights of the nose. That even though it's nose light, in other words, light of a certain level of quality, of highness, that would come out of the nose. But even so, a certain amount of it comes out of the mouth. So that what's coming out of the nose is not counting what comes out of the ears, not counting the light of the ears that came out of the ears and the light of the nose that came out of the nose. There's some essence of those lights that wind up in the mouth. Now we see that there are 4 different types of light that come out of the mouth, which come out of the 2 lights of the ears. And small, they come out of the right ear and the left ear. And 2 lights of the 2 lights of the nose. Small, that come out of the right nostril and the left nostril. Now, these lights, besides the lights that come out of the ears and the nose, these lights that are now in the mouth, they have 4, they're called 2 lights, but they're actually 2 lights which are 4. Because the striking of the lights inside of the mouth causes the creation of a concept called kalim. So now in the lights of the mouth, there are 2 different aspects. Those are the 2 aspects. One is the light, an essence of light, which is called light, and another is an essence of light, which is called kalim. So those, if you took each one of those bechinos, and you could also divide them into 2 also. Because the lights are divided into 2 different lights. One is called a panimi, and the other one is called a makif. Shehem panimi or makif. So the kalim are divided into 2 different forms of the kalim. An interior kli, the interior of the kli, and the chitzonius of the kli. So we have 2 here which are 4. So now we're going to number Yudalit. Let me read the light print. I'm reading all the light print, right? So we explained up there in Shaar Haakudim, Ozen Chotem Peh. So this is a quote really from the Shaar Ozen Chotem Peh exists in the CHAIM, but it doesn't exist over here. We have instead Tanta and Akudim. Ma'ozen yamen yotza or makif. From the right ear comes something called the or makif. Ve'elu ma'ozen small yotzim or panimi. V'chein b'chotem. The chotem yamen yotza or makif. So there again, right side is or makif. And b'chotem small yotza or panimi comes a light which is called the interior light. Amnam kol zer b'chu b'oros ha'ozen v'chochotem shiyatzim v'chotem v'chotem atzman. So these are all the lights that come out of the ears and from the nose, that they come out of the ears and the nose themselves. I'm not talking about the mouth yet. But those same lights that come down further, their qualities come down further, and they wind up in the mouth. Because in there's another aspect altogether, which is called kalim. Behem nishtana seder harasam. So because over here we see there's a change now in the order in which they shine. So he said the lights, because of their high level, they come out of the right. Velo yitzias hakelim himitzad small. Now, therefore, the kalim are now going to be on the left. So not to get too confused, because at the beginning, just looking at the lights, you had a right side light, left side light, which is called a makif and a panimi. But that once you see them in relationship to kalim, they're all going to be considered to be right. Remember, in spiritual world, there really is no solidity. So basically, the rules can change according to what we call the erech the relationship. So now we're in a different state. If you want to compare lights to the lights, then you have a right side light, left side light. But if you want to compare right lights to kalim, you're going to see all the lights are going to be on a higher level than the kalim. So therefore, when you want to say the lights of the aspect of the ear that's now being revealed in the mouth, then you're going to see the lights and the bekifim are there. And also you're going to see the lights of the nostril, of the nose there. So you see that the lights, the interior lights, so if you looked at the lights of the ears, and you look again, we're going to this concept of erichin. If you looked at the lights of the ears, they will always be considered right side lights in relationship to the lights that's in the nose. Or they will always be considered to be lights of what he calls makifim, which are the higher level light, and the nose lights will always be the lower light. And so there we see that the panimi will be the lights of the nose, and the makif will be the lights of the ears. And now we see that the lights that are going to be the light of the panimi is going to be from the nose, and the lights of the makif are going to be from the ear. That's the lights. But bechinas kalim is galsa b'derek zu. So you have the similar thing that happens in the lights of the kalim, that is also revealed. Ki bechinas ozen small mizgaba b'peh, because for the aspect of the left ear, which is now going to be revealed in the mouth, nizgalsa chitzonius akli. Then you have a revelation of the chitzonius of the kli. Now, what we're saying here is that the stronger part of the kli is the outside part of the kli. Small, and from the aspect of the left nostril, then you're going to have the panemius of the gamizgaba b'peh, which is revealed in the peh. Nizgalsa panemius akli, which is going to be the weaker part. Ki kol kli nechlak l'shnayim. Every kli, he writes, is divided into two. V'ofen shechetzi doifen de benimi shal kli. Now look at the kli, the half of the interior part of the kli. So let's take the wall of the kli. That's the best way to say it. So he said, Ki kol kli nechlak l'shnayim. V'ofen shechetzi doifen de benimi shal kli. So split the wall of the kli into two. So the half of it down the middle. So the half of it that goes inside, who panemius a kli, that will be the panemius of the kli. V'chetzi doifen lechitzon shel kli, so the half that's on the outside of the kli, who chitzonius a kli, will be the chitzonius of the kli. V'lechein chetzi adoifen the panemi na'asa kli le'or panemi. So therefore, they're going to be a match here. It says that the interior of the kli will match itself up with that is the panemius of the kli, will match itself with what is called the or panimi. The or panimi nimsa betocha kli, because the or panimi is found inside of the kli, so therefore it's going to be touching no geya b'doifen the panimi. It's going to be touching against the wall of the kli, which is on the inside. But now split take the other half of the wall of the kli, and it's going to it's an asach of a kli or hamakif. It's going to be a vessel for the or hamakif. This is not an easy idea. Now the basic principles of this are just that the inside of the kli matches up with the interior light, and the outside of the kli matches up with the exterior light. That is the surrounding light. So, but his words here, that it itself becomes a vessel for the surrounding light. It's a little hard for me to see, because my picture of it in my mind, so if any of you have got a different picture, let me know. But my picture is like it's like a ball, a hollow ball inside, and the outside of it is surrounded by this or makif. Now, how in what way is the exterior of the kli a kli for that light that surrounds it? But it is. That's what he says. Ki ha'or ha'makif hu makif as called svivus ha'kli b'chutz, because it surrounds the whole outside of the kli from the outside. V'lechein yatsa or ha'makif, so therefore this light which is surrounding, it goes out ma'ozen yamin, it comes out from the right ear. But Chitzonis HaKli Yotzei Me'ozen small, and so therefore there's a match, and the Chitzonis of the Kli comes out from the left ear. So we're moving things around a little bit. But it's always right, it's all the matches. That is, the right side is always the more powerful. So if we're dealing with the Kli, then it's going to be on the left side in relationship to the light, which is going to be on the right side. So he says, Me'ozen small, Kaven shahakli tzarech lehiyos b'makom ha'or, because the kli has to match up with the or. So if the or is on the right ear, then the kli has to be on the left ear. Now remember that we do have a concept. So let's go on. So the light, that they have a match between the light and the kli. B'shum kach yotza or panimi, for this reason, the light of the panimi mechotim yamin, it comes out, the lights are on the right side, comes out from the right nostril, and konegdo yotzach panimius akli, and from opposite that comes out the panimius of the kli, mechotim small, from the left nostril. So now we see that in the mouth there are two different aspects of light. Shehem maki panimi, which are maki from panimi, v'shtei bechinus kalim, and they're two different aspects of vessels. Shehem yitzonius upanimius. Okay, that's what we're going to do for today. Let me see. Oh no, there's more. Let's see, this test vav. Let's do test vav because it's part of what we read, and we'll finish it off at test vav. Velo ha'arba bechinos, heba bechinos gilui osam adalat alofim. That's what he said. Now let's read the light print. I'm sorry. Arba bechinos and iskaros. Now we've said that there are four different aspects. Or panimi or makif, two different kinds of oros. Kli ha'panimi v'kli ha'chitzon, two different kinds of kalim. Two different aspects of the kalim. Elu habechinos mizgalot beped. All of these are now revealed in the mouth. So this, we talked about the four alafim, letters of olives that were in the nose. So we said before that there were four different types of olives that came out of the nose. I used to call this yovi. So you could, but I don't see anybody else doing that. So he says that the shnei alafim betzuras yud vav yud. That's an aleph with a yud at the top and a bar that's diagonal and a yud down below. V'shnei alafim betzuras yud vav daled. Used to call it yovid, but I don't anymore. So that would be yud with a bar and then a daled at the bottom. Because of the light that is revealed from the ear and from the nose, over derek panemius ak, and it goes through the inside of ak, because the whole thing of one Ein Sof Baruch, but it has levels now because ak surrounds it, and there's a top to ak and a bottom to ak, and so therefore the places that the lights come out, the light is the same light in the interior, but the place that it comes out changes it, it minimizes it. So he says over derek panemius ak v'nizgala v'yotza b'toch hapeh, and it goes out from the middle of the mouth. Kaniska the el shapeh ein lo or mishalo, because remember that the peh is empty. It itself doesn't have anything of its own. So therefore it's empty. Shapeh ein lo or mishalo, it doesn't have any of its own light. Elohum megala es ha'oros ha'oziv ha'choitim, but rather what it does is it reveals the lights of the ear and the nose. So therefore these olives that we said came out of the nose. There were two different types, right? So there were those two olives. They're nizgala b'peh, they're going to be in the mouth, because some aspect of it, which is going to be a less refined aspect or more physical aspect, is going to wind up coming out of the mouth. And as we go on, we're going to see this more. And we're going to see how it is, in fact, these four alafim are distributed, the bechinas oros v'kalim, and how some of them become oros and some of them become kalim, and that's a shir for today.